everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I cannot gatekeep on the best community on these internet streets. Why would I do that? Of course not. And listen, if you have been hanging around, listening to the podcast, jumping in the comments every now and then, and you hadn't subscribed, why? You should go ahead on and subscribe and be an official member of this community. Listen, we would love to have you. So if you decide that you want to be a part of this community officially, go down in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, the beast, that algorithm. I have dog walked it month after month after month, and it's all because of y'all. Y'all do such a great job with the thumbs ups, and I really, really appreciate it. You know what else I appreciate? All of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing such a great job, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member or a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I would be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, look over there, click those three little dots. That's our super thanks button. And I think if you're watching on the computer, you will see that you can go right down there and it says thanks. I think that's where it's at. Y'all, they switch and change it up so much, but I know the last time I checked, it was those three little dots. You hit that and you'll see the super thanks button. And if you choose to donate to the channel, I'll be so grateful, so thankful. I'm telling you, just completely over the moon. I promise you I will. All right, y'all, I do have some super thanks. I do have some shout outs. And first up is my girl, Now. Yes, Now has been with me pretty much since the beginning, I think. And let me tell you, so faithful. She is one of my channel members, and she just comes through and support on a regular basis. And I appreciate her so very much. And now she's come through and she is so super generous, so kind, so wonderful. And I appreciate her so much. She is always down with the read. Let me tell you, always supporting. Now, you might not hear a whole lot from her, but she's there and she is always, always coming through. And I appreciate it so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Now. Thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you for being down with the read. And most of all, thank you for being here. Also, Annette Sweat. Annette, come through again. Annette has been with me since the beginning. Never, ever fails to support. Always coming through. Always in the comments. Always just being so down with the read. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate Annette. Annette is just everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Annette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Jennifer Clark came through. Yes, she did. Jennifer has been with me since the beginning. Jennifer is everything. Always in those comments, always supporting. So generous, so kind, so wonderful. And I am so appreciative to have her as a part of my community. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have Jennifer. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Beverly Jackson 6875 came through. Yes, she did. And she is another one who has been with me for a while, always support, always come through. Just a ride or die, ride or die. And I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Beverly Jackson. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for coming through. Thank you for being here. And Angela May. Angela May is a ride or die, ride or die. Always coming through, always in the comments, always down for the read. I mean, I have such wonderful people in this community. I am so lucky. I am so lucky to have someone like Angela. Ah, just being a part of this community, it is everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Angela. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to Now, to Annette Sweat, to Jennifer Clark, to Beverly Jackson, 6875, and Angela May. Y'all are just everything, and you're so appreciated. Your wonderful and kind generosity, it just absolutely overwhelms me sometimes. Y'all just come through and be down with the read, and it's just amazing to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for supporting, and thank you most of all for being here. It is so appreciated. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and that's what I have been doing most of the day on these internet streets, seeing what squatties have been up to, what they're talking about, who they're dragging. And let me tell you, that is what is mostly going on these internet streets. Now, the internet streets are pretty quiet, not a big story out there that all the squatties are discussing, but I think the squatties are just taking time to drag who needs to be drugged today. I'm telling you, they are dragging all of the trolls. You know, the ones that just came in on Harry and Meghan's Christmas card, on them volunteering. I mean, the squatties were saying, we got time today. So we gonna talk about the dragging that the squatties are doing to all these internet trolls and Willie and Kitty. And we have some other stuff too. We are absolutely gonna fangirl over Harry because it seems like the whole world is fangirling over Harry and this polo, this snow polo. Now they're saying that people didn't even know anything about this. This has been going on for years and years and years. And now Harry has showed up and everybody is interested in snow polo. Yes, I didn't know anything about it. I admitted it right up front. But seems like everybody is just like, wow, this is such a terrific thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about, people fangirling over our prince. And we have a few other things that we're going to talk about. We're not going to stay long because it's not a whole lot to talk about. But I promise you, we're going to keep it interesting. So I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty, I think, made such a valid point. And they say, nobody living a happy life dislike this family, guaranteed. It absolutely is the truth. When you think about it, this is a litmus test if you're a good person. Because if you're not a good person, I'm pretty much guaranteed that you don't like Harry and Meghan. I promise you, it is just that simple. Now, we have other litmus tests as well, and that is if you like the one that shall not be named and his showgirl wife, then yeah, you're probably not a good person. It is plenty of couples out there that when you meet someone and you ask them, are you fond of Harry and Meghan? Do you know of Harry and Meghan? What's your opinion of Harry and Meghan? And they come across negative in that situation, run, don't walk. These are not good people. Same thing with the one that shall not be named and his showgirl wife. If you meet someone and they are all in on him or his wife or both, then that right there gives you insight to the soul of this human being that you're talking to. And that soul, I'm pretty much willing to guarantee, is pretty dark. Now tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying because I don't think so. Yeah, so Harry and Meghan are another form of litmus test for me if I'm going to bring you into my life. Because if you absolutely feel that Harry and Meghan are awful people, the mirror is showing. Your mirror is showing because your black heart is reflecting on yourself. Yes, I love this. I love this. I think this squatty is absolutely right. It's guaranteed that you're not a happy person. And I want to add on, you're not a good one either. I'm just saying. And look at this, y'all. This particular squatty put together all of the posts that all the news organizations and the entertainment entities posted about Harry and Meghan's Christmas card. Some of them had it as breaking news. Some of those news organizations across the pond, they broke in and it was breaking news. I kid you not. I can't. Now I cannot say that they did not make Will and Kitty's breaking news as well, but I know I saw some of them breaking in saying it was breaking news. Breaking news, a Christmas card. How obsessed are you? But look at this. Harper Bazaar, Marie Claire, Elle Magazine, BBC News UK, Bazaar UK, Huffington Post, Too Fab, and it goes on and on and on. ABC News, and it was just all over the place. It absolutely broke the internet. And this squatty that posted it says, true Sussex power. Everyone loves this family. I would add, everyone loves this family who has a wonderful heart, who truly have a loving heart. Because there's some dark-hearted people out there who actually hate Harry and Meghan because of jealousy and envy. They see this couple and they think this couple has it all, not looking at all of what they had to go through and what they still have to go through. But they are so envious and jealous. And it's starting to show. I'm telling you, the haters are falling like chess pieces. They are. And I just love that for them. I do. But I digress. Yes, Harry and Meghan absolutely just broke the internet. And even though Willie, he tried to piggyback on it. Y'all know in my last podcast, I talked about that and how he sent his bots out to piggyback on all of these news entities and these entertainment entities, going in their comments, posting, having bots to post about him and George, trying to steer the traffic over to them. Y'all remember in my last podcast, But this is why they were doing this, because Harry and Meghan was being posted all over the place. It was big news. A Christmas card was big news. Tell me this couple do not have the shine, because they do. They do. When you can just post a regular Christmas card, who else do you know can post a Christmas card and it breaks the internet? And your lame brother tried to absolutely, your lame brother tries to absolutely clout chase in the comments of all these news entities that are posting about you. I mean, you could not write this in a Hollywood script. I'm telling you, you couldn't. This plot would not even be believable. I'm just saying. And this is what he said: all of the hysterical screeching and critiquing and the unhinged attacks on toddlers, the head banging and the throwing up from derangers about the Sussex's Christmas 2025 card is for one reason only. It blew the whales card out of the water worldwide. Where is the lie? That is the reason why they have been rolling around on the ground pretending like they are so offended by a toddler's hair and her shoes and Meghan's dress and Harry's hair, and it goes on and on and on. But one thing, it does not matter what they say, how much they complain. At the end of the day, the facts are still the facts, and the numbers don't lie. People like Harry and Meghan better than Willie and Kitty. Willie and Kitty are non-factors, especially when they're coming up against Harry and Meghan. And they might as well understand that. And like this squatty said, they can have their hysterical screeching and unhinged attacks all they want to and just throw up and gag. The facts are the facts. When Harry and Meghan's card hit, it was as if it was something that the world was holding its breath for. And when it hit, they exhaled. And it just went all over the world. Everyone was posting about it. And they was not posting about Willie and Kitty. Nobody cares. They can't make anybody care. And so all I say is I love it. I have been saying this since the beginning. They do not bother me. I am totally unbothered by all their nonsense, because we all know why they are behaving in such a manner. It's because of jealousy and envy. And they know what we know. Harry and Meghan are the ones with the shine. And look what this totally unhinged, crazy, fever-minded deranger actually had the nerve to post. I kid you not. These people have no shame because they are crazy. We named them derangers for a reason, because they are totally deranged. This Andy character said this: they're not going to bother washing and brushing the kids' hair when they only hired them for long enough to get a photo taken. This man is still talking about Harry and Meghan's kids are not their kids. This is how sick these people are. They are truly fever minded. When I say fever minded, I mean exactly that. I'm telling you, their brains are cooked. And this squatty reposted that and said this: I actually can't fathom how grown adults say things like this on the internet daily and think it's normal. Like, on what planet do you live? Hiring kids for a photo shoot because Archie and Lily aren't real. I mean, Can we get past the fact that Harry and Meghan's children are real? They still cannot get those fevered minds around that fact. They can't wrap their brains around it. I would say they don't really have any, maybe two, maybe three brain cells left. So I can understand where it's hard, but come on now. These kids are 4 and 6. I mean, this is what we're dealing with, y'all. This right here. And it is definitely a mental illness. And I'm going to put this up because squatties absolutely are showing no mercy when it comes to these derangers talking about Lily's hair. They just want to remind all of these trolls, all of these ugly old hags, all of the derangers, all of them, what Kitty is walking around with on top of her head while they're so concerned about Lily's hair. They need to be concerned about their future queen, dumb as a rock. Yes, that's who they need to be concerned with, because look at this rat nest that this woman really walked out of the house and thought it was acceptable and people was going to believe that this was her hair. Look at the back of it. I mean, come on. You have to have some nerves. I'm telling you, to talk about Lily's hair when your future queen is walking around looking like this. I mean, piles on top of piles on top of piles of wigs. And yet and still, here you are. I mean, it is so funny. My timeline is filled up with this picture of Kitty. I mean, post after post after post, squatties are just going in because, come on, what room do you have to say anything about Lily's hair when, like I said, the woman you hold up to, well, you hold up to the world as your ideal, is walking around with a pile of hair twice, maybe even 3 times bigger than she is? I'm just saying, handle that and then come back and maybe we'll have a conversation. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted that squatty's post and said this: bad wig day for mumbling. Yes, it was. It was a horrid day. But also, it was a day that she chose to try to lie to us, saying that the sun had changed her hair from dark brown to a honey blonde. Yes, she wanted us to really, really believe that. So, yeah, it was a bad day. It was a bad day for her wig and a bad day for her to continue to lie about what's going on the top of her head. I have said it from the beginning. The more and more Kitty becomes insecure when it comes to Meghan, because she's extremely insecure when it comes to Meghan, the more she piles the hair on top of her head. I'm telling you, give her another year or two, Kitty is going to be like cousin It from the Addams family. She is just going to be a pile of hair walking around. We won't see anything of Kitty except her hair, because this is nothing more than insecurity. You can't tell me anything different. She knows that she's mediocre, especially compared to Meghan. And these insecurities that she have due to her being compared to Meghan and falling so short in comparison is the reason why Meghan can never ever be friends with Kitty. She can never ever ever trust Kitty in any form or fashion, because any opportunity she gets, she is going to shank her. And these piles and piles of hair is a dead giveaway that she can never be trusted, because this is born out of jealousy. It's born out of envy. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this one up, and it looks like another one bites the dust. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about another fashion brand that Kitty is, fond of. Her signature looks, as you will. And it seems like this particular brand is the ninth brand that Kitty has worn, endorsed, and pretty much was the ones that she wanted to protect from Meghan. Because y'all remember, she told Harry that she was not going to give Meghan her fashion contacts. Every time I say that, I have to laugh because we all know what Kitty's fashion was prior to Meghan. And it was not something to be desired. I'm just saying. But look, Not My King, this is a repost. And they're reposting Not My King, who did the original. And they posted an article in the Fail saying Kate's beloved fashion brand LK Bennett is racing to find a savior amidst fears firm will collapse. Yes, she cannot carry a fashion brand on her back. She can't. And y'all know that Vogue UK just voted her one of the best dressed in the UK. So I'm confused here. Why is it that one of the best dressed women in the UK, cannot hold a brand up? Why other women are not rushing out to dress like her? Because they sure are doing Meghan that way. Everything Meghan puts on, everything Harry just about puts on, and Archie and Lily. I mean, the Sussexes just sell out of everything. Look at that little J. Crew dress that Lily had on in the Christmas card. It sold out in minutes. The minute it was ID'd, it was gone. But we can't say the same for the whales. I mean, nobody cares. And so, is this surprising to me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I do take a little pleasure in it because we all know when Meghan was a working royal and she wore all those British designers' clothes, I mean, people was trying to find those clothes from all over the world. Meghan was really, really bolstering that industry over there. But no, 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 no. They couldn't be satisfied with that. So now Meghan has left and they are left with Kitty. And Kitty's fashion pull, her fashion influence is so much less than Meghan's. When has Kitty worn anything that they say has sold out? I can't remember. I can't remember when she did, and I can't remember the last time she did. If you can remember, please put it in the comments because I don't remember anything that Kitty wore sold out. And so here they are with Kitty, and all of them are failing. This is what Not My King said. He said, "Frock shock." Yeah, it's a shock. It's a shock. And the squatty that reposted Not My King said, "We are told that Kate Middleton brings in 1.2 billion pounds a year for the UK fashion industry. Are you saying we are lied to?" Laugh out loud. Yes, you best believe you are lied to. If you think Kitty brings in $1.2 billion in for the fashion industry, because we know she never sells anything out. Nobody wants to dress like Kitty. Nobody. And the minute Meghan puts something on, it sells out. Anytime her family puts anything on, it sells out. Now, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And we all know who is the fashion legend and who is the fashion flop. Because the flop is doing everything she can to copy the legend. I'm just saying. But tell me what y'all think about this. Yes, they want to try to tell us $1.2 billion that she brings to the fashion industry. Yeah, right. And I have a bridge in San Francisco, California to sell you real cheap, and it's gold. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty posted about this same article and listed each and every one of the fashion brands that has gone out of business that Kate has worn. I kid you not. And number 5, Vampire's Wife. Y'all remember that? They were all wearing Vampire's Wife. I mean, Eugenie and Beatrice and Zara and Kate, of course, she was the lead in this whole vampire wife thing. And those was the ugliest clothes. I'm telling you, I never could understand what they were trying to say by wearing that. But I digress. Yeah, one of the most famous ones on here is Vampire's Wife. And as you can see, number 9 is L.K. Bennett. Another one bites the dust. And this particular squatty writes about this and says Kate Middleton's impact on British fashion is the most brands shut down after she wears them. Very embarrassing. The propaganda doesn't match the facts. Exactly. How in the world are you doing $1.2 billion, well, billion pounds in influence when it comes to British fashion brands, and you actually close down more than you keep alive? I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just saying. And this squatty posted that squatty, and it says, Kate is their future queen, dumb as a rock. Now, I added the dumb as a rock part because I'm messy, y'all. And we are constantly told how much she does for British brands. The British fashion economy, changing the trajectory of some brands by wearing one item. Yet many of the ones that she wears are closing down shop. And I want to know these items that she has worn that has changed the trajectory of that particular brand, because I have never heard of such. Now, I might have missed it. Y'all tell me in the comments, but I don't know anything about it, because she wears things and nothing happens. So let me know. I know a lot when Meghan was over there. You know, she kind of piggybacked off of Meghan. They would say Meghan wore these earrings, and then they would say Kate wore these earrings. But now that she's out there by herself, I don't ever hear anybody saying that, Kate has changed their lives, that they woke up and their phone was absolutely jumping off the table because people was emailing them because, the Princess of Wales had wore their dress, had wore their shoes, had wore their jewelry. Am I missing that? Because I don't see any of that. Now, I see it when it comes to Meghan. Megan's, will wear a shirt with Archie's name on it and Lily's name on it. And it changes everything for these brands, for these small companies, these women-led companies. Now, I saw that time and time again, but I hadn't saw this thing with Kate. I hadn't saw the same thing with Kate. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, but I just hadn't saw that. I'm just saying. And this other squatty came up under there and said this: it's a vicious cycle of the press fawning, which led to laziness, which led to cover up through more fawning. And basically what she's saying is Kate is not doing 1.2 billion pounds of influence when it comes to the fashion industry in Britain. That is the press absolutely propping her up. And I agree with this. It says the pedestal that the whales were placed on after Meghan was introduced was honestly the worst thing that could have happened to them. An already work-shy couple was sainted overnight for doing nothing other than not being black. They needed accountability. They needed pressure to do better. Where is the lie? and they have created a Frankenstein monster in Willie and Kitty. And it is really going to be out of control when they ascend to the throne. When they ascend to the throne, all the cracks are going to show. They're going to absolutely show exactly who they are. And it's not going to be pretty, I promise you. And like I said, we're just going to sit back with our popcorn and watch it all unfold because it's going to be entertaining. And this particular squatty reposted a squatty that was dragging Willie them and the derangers because how they behaved when Harry and Meghan and the kids went to volunteer. They were saying that they needed hairnets on, they needed gloves on. Now, some people have said that Harry and Meghan had gloves on. I remember that they had gloves on in some parts of it, and some parts they didn't. So, yeah, what's the big deal? I tell you, if you look at the screen grab that I did in this particular post, you can see Willie just talking and spitting and holding bread in his hand, and he is getting ready to serve that up to someone. Now, you can say whatever you want to about Harry and Meghan, but they weren't doing nonsense like this. I mean, just absolutely just over expressing himself and spitting and going on. Yeah, and had the bread in his naked hand while he was absolutely talking with no mask on, no nothing. But yet and still, they got everything to say about Harry and Meghan. But the squatties, they drug them. They drug them today. My whole timeline is nothing but squatties dragging these derangers for nothing but filth. Let me tell you, squatties had time today, and so did I. It was a beautiful thing. My timeline was spinning with nothing but squatties dragging them on their hypocrisy. Yes, this particular squatty said this. Well, the Rangers criticized Meghan for using her bare hand while cooking on her show. And here we have Willie and Georgie preparing food for human consumption, wearing no gloves. Where are the critics now? Crickets. It's always crickets. They don't ever have anything to say, but we always have something to say with the receipts. Yes, they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear about the receipts, but we're going to bring the receipts anyway. And that's exactly what squatties are doing today. And the squatty that reposted this said, where are the gloves sending germs to the homeless folks? Yes. Willie was talking, being very expressive, spitting, I'm sure, just spittle just coming out of his mouth, just having a very performative, jolly time. We all know it's always performative with these people. But I digress. Yes, standing there with the bread in his hand as spittle is flying and nothing is said from these derangers about this. Just absolutely quiet as church mice. But yet and still, they got everything to say when it comes to Harry and Meghan. Then they expect you to take them seriously. These are not serious people. These are deranged people. These are people who are mentally sick. You have to be to focus in on a couple that you say you don't even like. And you will downright ignore the one couple you say you do like in order to critique the couple you say you don't like. I mean, the Rangers were more excited about Harry and Meghan's Christmas card coming out than squatties were. They completely and utterly ignored Willie and Kate's card in order to critique Harry and Meghan's. This is the reason why I say nobody really cares about Kitty and Willie. Not even their so-called fans, because they are constantly talking about Harry and Meghan. They have channels after channels of nothing but them talking about Harry and Meghan. No channels dedicated to Kitty and Willie. They're all hate channels dedicated to Harry and Meghan. So you can't tell me, you cannot tell me that these people are serious people. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this squatty says, isn't this interesting? Willie and George went to their PR event on December 16th, but nothing was posted until December 20th. Why wait? Oh, Harry and Meghan released their Christmas card on December 19th. Who's trying to overshadow who? Well, I bet it was a surprise to them that they could not overshadow Harry and Meghan and the kids. Even George does not have that kind of pull. And if they didn't know it then, they know it now. Because they had to enlist all those bots to go in on those news entities that were reporting about this Christmas card that Harry and Meghan had released and try to get in there and try to siphon off views from those posts. Y'all remember I showed it to y'all in my last podcast where they were in there directing them to Willie and George's event, saying they did such a great job. This is what charity looks like, and on and on and on, and directing them over there to their Instagram page in order for them to see what Willie and George was up to. If they had the power to overshadow, they wouldn't have to be doing some nonsense like that. So, like I said, if they really thought that they could overshadow Harry and Meghan, they learned that no, they cannot. And in actuality, they have to go back to their fallback, and that would be leeching off of Harry and Meghan shine. But as you can see, George signed his name and put December 16th, 2025. Yeah, so that is the reason why we know that this engagement was done on the 16th and held to the 20th, trying to overshadow Harry and Meghan. I believe it was an attempt because one thing about future King Dumb as a Rock, he is dumb as a rock. He never understands the fact that just because he's the heir does not mean he is the most popular. But yes, he did sign it. And as you can see, Diana had signed it December the 14th, 1993. And it says William, December the 16th, 1993. Yes. And you know, they said it was 22 years after Princess Diana took him, but we know the math was not mathing. It's really 32 years. Yeah. We had a big laugh about that in my last podcast. But yes, so George gave up the ghost and let us know exactly what the date was that they did this engagement. And yet and still, they saved it for a day after Harry and Meghan's card dropped. But it didn't mean anything. They had to turn around, recombobulate, and send out bots to try to help them out on the backs of Harry and Meghan's popularity. Whew, I know that stings. I'm just saying. And look at this. We're going to switch gears a little bit and start talking about our favorite prince. Yes, this snow polo has got everybody in a chokehold. It does. Harry just looks so good playing snow polo, and it's just absolutely such a hit. And as you can see, they made the Aspen Times. They did. And it says a royal affair. Yes, there's Harry on his polo pony. And the person who reposted this said, the Aspen Times, a royal affair, aka hashtag Prince Harry. Yes, everybody loves Harry. How can you not? I'm telling you. Harry is just living his best life. And of course, when you're living your best life, what happens? You have haters. And look like Susan Spencer is a hater. I'm putting it up. She was replying back to Meghan's mole, which is one of the most notorious deranged trolls on these internet streets. And this is what Susan said. Thought hashtag Meghan Markle was supposed to care about animal welfare. There's many wealthy people in the UK no longer play polo as it being looked on as harsh on horses. Royals rarely play now. Harry is just part of a small group of entitled men who think treating horses like this is okay. Well, a squatty had time today. Yes, she had time for Susan, and she absolutely posted Susan's comment and then said this. That's weird. William just played polo back in July. Me thinks Susan's resentful because Harry looks much better on his polo pony and got so much more attention. Yes, exactly. Because people are just really waking up to snow polo. They are. I mean, they will not let it go. How many days has this story gone on? I mean, many days. It has legs, as they say in the news business, because Harry always gives everything that he does legs. Everybody is talking about Harry. I love it. And yes, while this woman is trying to criticize Harry for playing polo, ain't said nothing about William playing polo in July. Crickets. The hypocrisy. That is the reason why we don't take these people serious. And that is the reason when we have time, we take time to absolutely chastise them like they are children. And look at this. It is so cute how squatties go and get pictures of Harry as a child and him as an adult. Harry is still that cheeky baby. This particular squatty said, always Diana's cheeky baby. Yes, he is cheeky. And the notorious JTB posted this one, and look how cute. And he says, cheeky since 1988. Yes, Harry is so lovable, so adorable. He was an adorable little boy, and he is an adorable man. He really is. He just has a way about him. He does. I love it. And this particular squatter reposted an old post that they had posted when Polo first came to Netflix. And she said this. She posted that post and then she said, a good time to rewatch Polo on Netflix, and an amazing series with executive producers Prince Harry and Meghan. It is. If y'all have some extra time, if you were stuffing your bird or doing whatever you're doing, rewatch Polo, because let's not forget it was really, really good. And I still have my fingers crossed that we're going to get a season 2. I'm just saying, because it was good. And this also happened today. I'm going to put it up. It says Duchess Meghan shares her favorite holiday songs, Mariah Carey, Michael Bublé, and more. All the sounds of the season. Here is my personal list of favorite holiday songs on rotation in our home this time of the year. Wishing you a safe and cozy Christmas. Enjoy. Yes, Meghan posted her playlist. And I, in return, am going to post it on the community page. And it has some goodies in there. It does. I just love it. I do. And two of my favorites are on there. This Christmas by Donny Hathaway and Merry Christmas Baby, Otis Redding. I love those, but all of them are really, really good. And this squatty says, I do like this holiday playlist from With Love Meghan. Like I said, I'm going to post it for y'all and y'all can go on, Spotify or, wherever you get your music and set up your playlist. You can. I love it. And I'm going to put this up. Meghan has a new video on her As Ever page, and it is so cute. It's about her hosting, and this particular squatty says, As Ever classic gift giving, As Ever stunning sophistication, As Ever elegant hosting, As Ever Meghan. So go over there. Don't forget about the Instagram pages. Like I said, I have mine pinned to my taskbar at the bottom of my screen. All I have to do is just go down there, and there is As Ever. There is Meghan's Instagram page. There is Sussex.com, which I visit every now and then. Well, at least once a week, I'll visit Sussex.com because you need to make sure traffic is going through there. And it is so easy when you have it pinned to your taskbar. You don't have to go in your search engine. You don't have to do any of that. You just click on it and it takes you right there. That is a little tip that I do in order to be able to go to Meghan's Instagram really quick, go to As Ever Instagram page real quick, and go to Sussex.com. So please, please, please don't forget about, the traffic going through Sussex.com and going over to Meghan, seeing what she's posted, showing her some love, giving her some likes. Also, As Ever, same thing. Like I said, I make a practice of it. I really do. And it's so easy. If you make it easy, it's easy. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. Looks like Fergie is starting to make her move for the comeback, because look what was in the Daily Express. It says Sarah Ferguson has reportedly sent an apology alongside her festive wishes for the royal family. Yes, and this particular squatty reposted that and said, Fergie's gushing apology to Charles masks a decade of JE ties. While they trade festive cards and regrets, the public pays for their palaces and their security. A Christmas sorry doesn't change the elite rot at the heart of the firm. Exactly. Exactly. But this is her laying the groundwork for a comeback. That's exactly what is happening here. And I am curious to see if she's going to be able to pull it off, because she has pulled some rabbits out of her hat before. And it might be one rabbit left for her to pull out. We will see. But yeah, she's starting with this, planting these stories in the rags. Yes, foundation starting to be laid. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And a squatty posted this. And this is an article that came out in the Fail about a couple days ago. And it just seems very familiar to me. And it seems like Kensington Palace has decided that the York sisters are going to be their new scapegoat, the ones that they use to try to prop up Kate, the foil that they're going to put in place to play against Kate's, good girl image. And this is the first building block that I feel is them moving towards that goal of making Eugenie, making Beatrice the fall guy when it comes to Kate, the foil, someone for Kate to play off of. She is the wounded one. She is the sacred one. And they are just mean to her. It is so familiar to me. Y'all remember Meghan made Kate cry. Yes. And just like that was the first step to the character assassination of Meghan. That whole setup to try to make Meghan the bad Duchess and Kate the good Duchess. I believe this is the setup. This is the first step of the character assassination of Eugenie. And then will come Beatrice. Look at the pictures. You see the pictures of Kate? Oh, looking all young and happy and all of that. And look at the picture they chose for Beatrice. This is all calculated. It is. And all I can say to the York sisters, watch your back because they're coming for you. Willie and Kitty are coming for you. And this particular squatter that posted this article said this: Kate is forever the victim, where it's a lie. Always trying to find someone to make Kate look better. She's the one that people are after. She's the one people are jealous of. She's the one that people treats badly so you can feel sorry for her. That's why she got that performative cancer. But I digress. It says the level of emphasizing a 43-year-old woman is disturbing. Don't even get me started on the useless body language expert and the fact that this is a non-story. Well, we all know they always use non-stories to assassinate your character. Yes, because if Meghan made Kate cry was a non-story, I'm telling you, that was the non-story. But look at the damage that it did. Like I say, watch your back, York sisters, because Kensington Palace has started to plant stories like this to try to assassinate your character and use you to prop Kate up. And now I want to go to something that is messy and funny. Look at this. Someone posted this. It came down my timeline. Somebody posted it. It says, name a clown that is not it Pennywise. Y'all know Pennywise from the It movie. Well, someone very interesting decided to chime in on this. And look at this. Omed Scobie. Omed said it would be Angela Levin for him. Yes, he said Angela Levin is a clown. Isn't that funny? It is so funny. And then this particular squatter came up under them and said, Scobie, season's greeting, mate. And was killing themselves laughing. And this is what he said, and he's back. Miss you here, Omed. And it says, boom. Yes, Omed absolutely dropped a bomb on Angela Levin. And I must say, I miss Omed as well. And the reason I miss him because I feel he was fair. Now, did I agree with Omed all the time? Absolutely, I did not. But you can say that Omed was fair. And that is what is missing in journalism across the pond. And it's missing a lot here in the US as well. So, yes, I miss the fairness of Omed. I'm just saying. And another squatter came up under that same post and said, for them, it would be the Doolittles. They are the clowns. And it says, coming to a theater near you, the Doolittles. So I have to agree with that. But it's so many, many, many more. And if I took the time to name them, this podcast would never end. I'm just saying. And I am going to end with this beautiful picture of Meghan. And this squatty said, I can see why they are mad. Yes, I can too. And y'all don't forget to stream with Love Meghan, the holiday celebration, and the Masaka Kids. Let's keep on streaming. And if you have time, Polo too. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.